Good evening, everyone. It is Monday, December 18th, 2023. This is a meeting of the Common Council of the City of West Bend. More than 24 hours in advance of this meeting, notice of the time, place, date, and subject matter of the meeting was posted in accordance to Wisconsin state statutes. I'd like to ask our clerk to confirm this meeting was properly posted.
Yes, it was.
Thank you. I invite you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We recognize the quorum of our Common Council tonight with all members here present. We're going to start with pinning of the badge for Police Officer Andrew Hallett. And Chief, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Appreciate the time to introduce the community to one of our newest police officers, Police Officer Andrew Hallett. A bit of a unique situation. Andrew actually joined our team this past summer and was sworn in July 24th to begin his career with us to prepare him for his attendance at the state of Wisconsin 720-hour recruit school at Waukesha Tech. So tonight we're here to celebrate his graduation from recruit school and is joining us officially as a certified police officer with the city of West Bend. His family was gracious enough to allow our administrative staff to attend his graduation. That was Thursday, December 7th. We graciously gave you the weekend off and then put him right into our field training program. So Andrew's working our late shift already, late watch, excuse me. Learning how to be a police officer in the city of West Bend. I think I speak for our entire team to say we fulfilled our promise to only hire people who deserve to work with our team and only deserve to police in the great city of West Bend. Andrew hits those marks out of the park. So tonight, as our custom, while not swearing in, is pinning the badge, and we'd like to ask Andrew's family to come up and help us with that process. Pam and Ed. Ed is a lieutenant with the South Milwaukee Police Department, so Andrew is continuing on a family history of public service. Andrew asked me who I thought should pin his badge, and I said, don't be dumb, your mom is going to pin the badge. So we welcome Andrew, please. And the reason, as Mom pins the badge on that we have family is to remind all of us, but especially our teammates in our family, that family is such an important support system to have. The profession of policing certainly can be all-encompassing, and it's incumbent on our families to keep us whole people, to make sure we remember that we're not just police officers, but human beings and sons. Congratulations and welcome to the team. Thank you.
Congratulations, Officer Hallett. Welcome to the city of West Bend. Thank you, parents, family, and friends for being here tonight. We are going to recess our Common Council meeting briefly while we do a couple of other commission meetings here tonight. So I will call to order the Licensing Board. Again, it's Monday, December 18th. We have two items on our agenda tonight. The first is the approval of our Licensing Board regular meeting minutes from December 4th, 2023.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Butchlick and Alderman Zingsheim. Any comments, questions, corrections? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our next item of business is a massage establishment license for Integrative Touch LLC at 1280 Lakeview Road. The applicant is Dan Wiebe.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Butchlick, Alderman Zingsheim. Any comments, questions? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our licensing board is adjourned.
The Finance Committee is called to order, and we have 7 items on the agenda. Actually 8, with the following, which is approval of the minutes of the meeting of December 4th.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is discussion of amending rates for emergency medical services for the City of West Bend Fire Rescue. Chief.
Good evening. For your consideration is a resolution to amend our ambulance rates. This was taken on as part of preparing to transition to an ambulance billing company. We noticed that our ambulance rates were below a lot of the comparables in the area. I did some research and tried to find several comparables that would most accurately reflect the City of West Bend. And there in the attached spreadsheet there, we used North Shore, Sheboygan, Menominee Falls, and Franklin and looked at those rates. I made a suggested rate increase. If you also look at the spreadsheet in the middle there, you'll see an average column that averages out those 4 comparables. And to the left of that, you'll see where our new proposed rates for both resident and non-residents would fall in line with those comparables, and we would still be below the average rate for the area, but we would close that gap significantly. So with that, I would entertain questions.
What does charge plus bundle mean?
Good question. With our new billing company, they've recommended that we go, instead of charging for supplies independently and on specific calls, to take the average cost of those supplies and medications over the year, average it out amongst our call volume, and add that in as a bundled charge. With conversations with one of my peers in North Shore, he indicated that they're likely to go the same route in the future.
Are any of the, you said North Shore is looking to go that way. Are any of the comparables doing that now?
No, and if you look at the spreadsheet where I've compared the prices, it's just with our increased ambulance charge versus their base ambulance charge, and that takes into account that they add their supplies and medicines after the fact. So we're more of an apples and apples comparison there.
Chair.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion, a second. Mayor, did you have something?
If I may ask just one
Oh,
question.
absolutely.
It's a simple one, but I don't know the answer. What does ALS, BLS, and ALS2 stand for?
Sure. A basic life support call, or a BLS call, is the most simple ambulance call where not a lot of treatment is needed. An ALS call requires intravenous lines, heart monitors, things of that nature. And an ALS2 is the highest level, which just requires significant more treatment, medications, and things of that nature. So it's the ALS2 is the highest charge.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Oh, you're welcome. Chief, every year we have to write off a lot of these, I don't know, a lot, some of the charges because they're not collectible. So is there a trade-off where we're increasing, but will we also increase the amount of write-offs because people can't afford them even more?
We're trying to get away from write-offs and just going to simple payment plans. Instead of writing off the bills, go to payment plans. I believe it's important to have the people pay their bills to make them more accountable to how often they use the service, and things of that nature. But you do definitely see that. Ambulance charges are complex. Obviously, Medicare and Medicaid have a state fixed rate. So they don't pay above that no matter what the charge is. Insurance companies go off what's typically known as reasonable and customary. And unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of guidance here outside of looking at what our comparables do and try to follow suit. So we're more in line with that reasonable and customary.
Say something.
I was gonna say that a lot of our write-offs are write-offs because we've received the Medicaid portion or insurance portion, and we can't collect the rest by statute or other law. And as far as like uninsured or private pay type situations, the state debt collection pool is quite effective because it's through the Department of Revenue, and they're collecting a lot. So the people that aren't insurance write-offs that are being written off are truly uncollectible at that stage. So this may affect write-offs, but that's going to be a lot of insurance ones.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Item number 3, resolution amending rates for, no, I beg your pardon, we
It's stated the
That
same
was the
place.
resolution.
It was the resolution. Gotcha. Yeah.
well, we just voted on that, right?
Right, we're on to 48,
I guess
Donations.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're just accepting donations to the fire department. Sorry about that.
That was confusing.
Ready for me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So we received several donations over the course of this month, the first of which was a $300 gift card, a generous donation by the Fleet Farm store. We will use for supplies to maintain our Knox boxes that are installed in buildings throughout the city that need maintenance. Additionally, the next 3 donations, $30 generously donated by Miss Rita Huffner, will go to purchase additional smoke alarms. $25 donation generously donated by Marion Tama will be also used to purchase additional smoke alarms. And finally, $100 donated by Mr. and Mrs. Gerald Behrens, also used to purchase smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. Captain Aslan's been very active this month in fundraising for smoke detectors. He's really working hard to increase our footprint and our outreach in installing smoke detectors. And he's reported that he's found a lot of places with inadequate or defective smoke detectors he's been replacing, specifically in our high target hazard population. So we thank him for that.
motion to approve with the
Second.
thanks to the city.
We have
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. Resolution accepting donations to support downtown holiday decorations.
Good evening. I'm pleased to share this resolution with the culmination of the Main Street and Riverwalk projects being completed earlier this year. It was the time to invest even more in the downtown decorations, so the downtown bid board invested $35,000, and then generous community donors came forward with an additional $30,000, as you can see in the resolution here. Delta Defense donated $20,000, West Bend Mutual Insurance $10,000 to purchase 150 new wreaths that are on our new street lights in the downtown and Riverwalk area. They also purchased lit garland that is now along the 2 white bridges on the Riverwalk, and then also a 16-foot sort of oversized lit ornament that really complements all of the decorations downtown and really brings it to a whole new level. So I just want to say thank you to the donors, and thanks for accepting this tonight.
Motion to approve with the thanks to the city.
I wonder if we could have someone else allowed to make the motion, Alderman Allen? Does anyone else like to make the motion?
Motion to approve.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Thank you. Any discussion? All those, go ahead.
Well, I would just want to make the comment that it's just absolutely beautiful down there. I've walked down there a couple times. It's just amazing. It just keeps getting better. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you to the donors too.
All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Resolution accepting donations to the Parks, Recreation, and Forestry Department.
Thank you. This evening, we have 3 outstanding donations that will help support our park system in different fashions. Excuse me. The first donation is an anonymous donation of $5,000. We have a resident that has come forward and would like to donate this $5,000 towards the renovation of the cabin at Ridge Run Park. We would utilize this $5,000 to hire an architect, put a plan together, cost estimates together, what we would like to see, what the anonymous donor would like to see at that facility would be. Right now, we are planning on a total renovation of the interior, exterior, new electric, windows, trim, workable fireplace when we would be done, new roof on the outside or up on top, new siding, even a wraparound deck added to the facility, and if money falls in line, even running a water line from the restrooms up to that facility for a kitchen sink, basically. So right now, it would still be a 3 seasons rental facility, even with the renovations, but this $5,000 would go towards that planning. We would get the plan, the cost estimates, everything to the anonymous donor, and they would hopefully move it forward at that point in time. Sometime in early 2024, we were hoping to get some solid answers as to what this renovation might look like. The second donation this evening is for $2,000. This was donated by the West Bend Community Foundation. This will be used to offset the cost for the renovation to the beach house in Regner Park. The third donation of $180 donated by the West Bend Riverside Disc Golf Club for maintenance and improvements of the Riverside Park Disc Golf Course. Again, thank you to these individuals and organizations for these donations this evening, and all the other groups and individuals and organizations that have supported the City of West Bend, Parks, Rec, and Forestry Department, and the city throughout 2023.
Motion
Thank you,
to
Mike.
approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you. Motion carried. Finally, we have a resolution authorizing the acceptance of a subgrant and a memorandum of understanding between the Wisconsin Elections Commission and the City of West Bend. Is that going to be Jolene? Hello.
Hi. So this is, Wisconsin Election Commission periodically does grants or subgrants for municipalities. This year, we found out that the absentee envelopes were going to completely change, and in the past, we've been able to use envelopes even though they change, but this time they decided no stock that we have could be used. So they have done grants for all the municipalities. If we accept this, West Bend's amount will be $3,222.81 to help offset the purchase of brand-new envelopes for the 2024 election year.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Are there any questions regarding this?
A million.
Yeah? Go ahead.
I'm not going to ask him.
Oh, okay. Is there a template that we'll see at some point, or we'll just see it when the ballots come out?
We actually did receive our delivery. Those were ordered a couple months ago, I believe. So they're different for like the special voting deputies, the military. Almost everyone has a different type of envelope now. It's supposed to make the voters see the outside more easily and clearly. So we will see what happens. Hopefully it does help. And that they won't change them this year. Hopefully.
No other questions? All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.
We'll reconvene our common council meeting. Just a quick agenda change here. We will not have a closed session tonight. The parties involved in the developers agreement are still working on the agreement, so we will not have that closed session tonight. Our consent agenda, items 2 through 7, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Model, Alderman Zingsheim. Any comments, questions? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Additional items up for consideration tonight, the 2024-2025 election inspector appointments. December 31st, 2023 marks the end of the current term of Wisconsin election inspectors. The position of an election inspector is an appointed public office. The names are listed in your packet. These are for this is statewide. It's a 2-year term starting January 1st and ending December 31st, 2025. If you have any more questions beyond that, I'll let the clerk answer them for you. Yes, Justice.
Are the number of inspectors relative to the area's politics? Because I just noticed there's a lot more Republican inspectors than there are Democrat. It's just a general question.
The party list are submitted to us by the Democratic Party and the Republican Party.
Okay, so it's just a matter of what they give you. It's not
Correct.
any kind of
And-
calculation. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
And it's due to the clerk by November 30th.
Okay.
So anybody they put on the list then goes forward for appointment.
Great. Thank you.
Good question. If there are no more questions, yes.
Just out of curiosity, if someone decides they want to volunteer and they would be unaffiliated, it's too late for them now to volunteer for next year?
If we have other people that are interested, we can add them throughout the year.
Oh,
We can.
thank you.
If there are no more questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve. Second.
Thank you, Alderman Berquist and Alderman Allen. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our next item is the approval of the 2024 budgets for the active TIDs. Mr. Petrovich.
Good evening. I won't go through every single budget unless you have specific questions on those particular. I would characterize it a little in that right now we have only 4 TIDs that we consider as active TIDs that have current development projects or public works projects within those. Those being TIDs, pardon me, 12, 14, 15, and 16. TID 12 is still has environmental remediation. We still have work to do on Water Street. The sidewalk on the south edge of Water Street is required per developer's agreement, and we have an active development on F Street to the south of Water Street. In TID 14, we have utilities. We have Phase 2 design and construction possibilities, and we have the potential for Kettle Moraine metal products as a development project within that site. TID 15, we still have the completion of Riverwalk Phase 3 in these funds, and in TID 16, we have the reconstruction of both the road and utilities for Sand Drive. So those are our active ones. All of the remaining TIDs, the other 9 TIDs, are more or less in a repayment mode. Essentially, you're paying either bonded debt, sewer costs that were fronted by the sewer utility, past general fund advances to these TIDs, or actual development incentives that are per the developer's agreements. You have the individual TID budgets before you. You also have a summary sheet. That summary sheet does it in more general categories, but it also shows you the outstanding balances still owed back to the general fund and also to the repayment to the sewer utility as well. I would point out that these TID budgets, we're continuing what we were doing last year. Pardon me, again. We have repayments to the sewer utility funding over $392,000, almost $393,000. We have repayment funds going to the general fund of about 1.9, almost $2 million from these TIDs. And the downside is we have 2 TIDs, TID 11 and number 14, that have debt on levy per the approval that you had done previously in the general fund budgets of about $607,000 and change. So overall, we're having positive repayment on a lot of the costs in here. We only have 1 TID closing, and that will be TID 7. You extended that period, or that TID's
period for 3 years back in '22. So in '25, that will be closing out as your next drop-off in the TIDs. If you have specific questions regarding the actual TID budgets, I'll be happy to try to answer.
Alderman Dolnick.
If I'm not allowed to ask this, you can say so, but F Street, which that's 12, right?
Correct.
Are they going to break ground soon, do you know?
We are still working on final site plans and final stormwater management plans, but yes, we have a completed developer's agreement. That development is expected to go forward.
That's good. Okay, thanks.
Any more questions? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the 24 budgets and for the TIDs.
Sorry.
Motion to approve.
Alderman Allen, is there a second?
Second.
Alderman Model, thank you. Any more comments, questions, discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Our next item is a resolution authorizing participation in the Wisconsin DNR Municipal Dam Grant Program. Jess Wilds.
Good evening again. This is the beginning stages of our application that we are looking to apply for the Barton Dam to make necessary maintenance improvements to the dam, and we can get up to 50% funding, up to $1 million, and then can also apply up to $2 million in total. This is part of the process, so before we can do anything, apply, we need to come to the council first for permission to do so, and then we'll begin the process of updating estimates and acquiring all of the information that's part of the application.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you, Alderman Model and Alderman Sternig. Any questions? Is this a new grant, or is this a ongoing grant that the DNR has available?
That's a good question. It's not a new grant. It is a grant that comes up every couple of years, 2 years, I believe. And they let us know in the fall that it was going to be reopening, and the application itself is due in March. So.
Thank you.
Yep.
Not so much a question, just a thank you for finding this grant and going for it. I really appreciate it. You know, I've been I've been bugging these guys about this for the last 6 years, so it's nice to see at least a little bit of movement on it.
Yeah.
Very much appreciated.
Thanks, Justice.
I'll entertain a motion. I already did.
You did.
Never mind. Any more comments, questions, discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jess.
Thanks.
We'll move on to our reports. Our Plan Commission met on December 5th. Jed?
Oh.
Or Justice?
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
All
sure,
right,
I'll
thank
take
you.
it. Yes, we did have a meeting. It was on December 5th, and we discussed, we approved the minutes, and we discussed a couple of site plans. The first one being at the Paradise Mall, and it is a new Alta, which I was not aware was coming to town. And we had a little bit of discussion about some of the fascia and whatnot, but we're moving things forward based on some contingencies. What was the second one about?
What does it say on there?
It's a combining land located at Maple Road in town Trenton.
That was an extraterritorial.
Extraterritorial thing. Okay, yeah. Okay. Anyways, then we had an extraterritorial thing and some reports. That's it.
Great. Parks and Rec Commission on December 14th.
That is me too. Unfortunately, I didn't quite make it to this one. It was by Zoom. Nobody met in person. It was all by Zoom, and I didn't make it on there. But I think it's mostly just accepting donations. Yeah, and we discussed some of that already.
Yep,
tonight.
that's exactly it. It was the
Yeah.
3 donations that was before the council this evening, so.
Awesome. Thank you. Mr. Petrovich, if I could ask you to come back to the podium. He loves this. I know he does. I think we all know that Mark's elected to retire after the new year, after 37 years in the city of West Bend. In my short time and getting to know Mark and working with Mark, it's pretty unbelievable the knowledge that he has of the properties around our city and the developments and the neighborhoods and the way water flows and drains and all of that stuff. And we're going to miss you a lot, and the knowledge that you take with you. I want you to know that you always have, you'll always receive a warm welcome here in the city. Anytime you want to come back and sit in on a meeting or just have lunch with your colleagues, we'd always welcome you anytime. If you're looking for any volunteer opportunities, we can find something like that for you too. But I don't know, Jay, or any of the council members, if you want to, go ahead, Justice.
Yeah, I think you already know Mark. He was when I first got on the council 6 years ago. Mark was just one of there was many people that welcomed me and were willing to sit with me and answer questions. But Mark always seemed to be available in the office when I went up there, and we've sat for hours discussing all kinds of different subjects. He was kind of a go-to for me when I had some real detailed questions. He was always there for me. I really appreciate it, Mark. We're going to miss you.
Appreciate it, all gentlemen. It's been a real joy working here. Haven't prepared anything for this. I was hoping to slink out. It's after 37 years, it'd be hard not to learn some things about this city. But one thing I've learned is the participation in this city. It's made me always want to come back. So volunteer, maybe. We'll see. So thank you, though.
We wish you and your family nothing but the best, Mark, but please know that you're always welcome to come back and see us. With no more business before the Common Council, I will wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Are there any other announcements for the good of the council before we adjourn? Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. We stand adjourned.